Hey guys, I'm Django Fett, and today I'm going to review Star Wars comics written by Brian Wood and illustrated by Carlos Danda. And the cover art is done by Alex Ross, and he's done works like DC Comics and Marvel. And now he's doing Star Wars, and I wish he does the interior work as well, but this is really good. The artwork inside is just as good, and I have issues one. It's issues 1 through 6. It's called Star Wars in the Shadow of Yavin. It's volume 1. It's issues number 1 through 6, and the volume, which will contain all these separate issues and all combined together, and it will also contain free comic book day or something like that. But that's not the reason you buy that volume. Not for a single comic book day issue. It doesn't make sense. I mean, unless you're like that. But numbers 1 through 6 in the Shadows of Yavin, and written by Brian Wood, like I said, right after the Battle of Yavin. Not right after, maybe a couple days or a month afterwards. And Battle of Yavin is New Hope, Star Wars: A New Hope, which is episode 4. And stars Leia, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Han Solo, and Chewbacca. So there's 3 different storylines within this. It combines together in one story, but it talks about 3 different perspectives. Leia, then Luke, Darth Vader. No, actually 4. There's 4 different perspectives. There's Leia, there's Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and Han Solo, and Chewbacca. Right there. And let me show you each of the issues real quick. So here's Star Wars number 1. They're just called Star Wars, and it's nothing. It's not any different name or anything like that. It's just called Star Wars. So Star Wars number 1. This is what the cover art looks like. It's fantastic. Cover art by Alex Ross. And he's a fantastic artist. Oh my god. And he does issues 1 through 3. And I'll show you issues 1 through 3. Actually, well, issues 1 through 4. And 5 and 6 were done by somebody else, but they're still really good covers. And if you buy the single issues, I think they'll be really valued years to come. Maybe 10 years or something like that. I think these issues will be really valued. They'll be really sought after. I really do think so, and I think this series is going to be really good. But so far, this is really good. I'll just say that. But Star Wars number 1. Here's the cover, and as you can see, there's this thing right here. It says, "Get your digital copy free. See inside for details." And that's when you actually use you have to have a Dark Horse account. It's free. Once you buy this issue, you can actually activate the code, and you can actually read it off the computer or any digital device like a tablet. And this is great because if you read it off a tablet, I think that's the perfect place to read it from. Reading it from a tablet, and you can actually switch the views and it make it feel more of like from that person's perspective of reading it. And you can zoom in onto each panel and zoom out and flip the cover and go to a next page, and it's great. I love that. And it's only for issues 1 through 3, and I wish they did that for every single issue from then on if you buy the physical copy, because I don't want to pay for another digital copy after this. I mean, if it comes free for this, that's great, but I think they just wanted to do this so they can get people to try this thing, and then later issues they can buy it. But I don't like that idea. I wish they'd had more of these digital copies, because it's a great idea. It's awesome. So because if you don't have a chance of reading the physical copy and you have it on your computer or something like that, you can just read it from there. I mean, that's always easier. But let me show you issue number 2. Personally, I think this is my favorite cover. Got Boba Fett, Darth Vader in the back. Looks pretty awesome. X-Wings just zooming into the sky. Millennium Falcon, and in the center is Boba Fett's ship, which is pretty awesome, just shooting at the Millennium Falcon. And then you have the Rogue Squadron crew with Leia and Wedge and Luke Skywalker. And I think this is my favorite cover by far. Issue number 1 looks pretty damn good too. I love that. That's my second favorite cover. And I just love these issues because of their cover, and they just appeal to me. As soon as issue 1 came out, I had to buy issue 1. The story is great for it, and it fits. I mean, it's not just a cover and then just like a bland story with it, but it has a really good story to it. So here's Star Wars number 3. You see Han Solo and Chewbacca roaring. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi, yeah, over here. I think it's stormtroopers right here, just like there's like a cut right there, cut right here. Yeah, so that's cool. And then issue number 4, I have all the separate issues. I'm not gonna buy the whole paperback volume. Which collects issues 1 through 6, and if you want that, go ahead by any means. So here's issue number 4 right here, Darth Vader, and then you see Leia right here. Okay, issue number 5 right here, Han Solo and Chewbacca. I think this was used before, but it still looks badass. And then issue 6 is just still this is really good. And you got Darth Vader with his hand out, and then Luke, and then Leia, and then Han Solo right here, and Chewbacca. So all these covers are fantastic, and I think these issues will be sought out. And if you want to get like the volume that collects all 6 issues, by all means get it. You probably save like $1 from that, but I'm gonna say right now the story. I'm gonna go into depth with the story, and just say it's really good. It starts with, after winning the Battle of Yavin, the rebels had to escape from Yavin and have been trying to seek a planet where they can seek refuge in and operate in, because they're pretty much in space right now, and they're just looking for a planet, and that planet would eventually be Hoth, if you know from Empire Strikes Back. But they're still looking for a planet. It would take some time just to find that planet, and this whole series they're still trying to number 1 through 6, they're still trying to find that planet to go to, and just away from the Empire. Because issues, it's a lot like X-Wing Rogue Squadron, if you ever read those comic series. More of like using the X-Wings and the TIE Fighters, they're fighting each other in space, and there's just a lot going on, and the space battles, they actually work for some bit in this series, but at the end, it's it doesn't really make sense, and it makes you like question it and just be like, that's really I'm not liking that. That's kind of stupid. I'll mention that later. Starts with Leia being the second leader and leading the fight in the rebellion, and she pretty much she's a strong female character, and I think it's good that she's portrayed as that, and she really takes in charge of this group, that they're creating this X-Wing elite squadron of Wedge Antilles, Luke Skywalker, Leia, and a couple of others, but they're not used as well, and I didn't like that. I wish they used them a bit more. They weren't used they weren't even used at all. Only Wedge, and he's always a badass as a X-Wing pilot. But other than that, the other crew members don't even bother. There was like 5 others, but honestly, you didn't care. I mean, you didn't even see them at all anymore. Only Wedge and Luke, and that was about it. You didn't see any of the others, and you could care less about them. And basically, she's trying to lead a group where she's trying to find a planet. But every time they try to find a planet, they're met by the Empire. So Leia and the other leader of the Rebel Alliance is Mon Mutha, and she tells them that there is a mole in the rebellion, so they have to find who the mole is and find a planet at the same time. And every time they try to find a planet, the Empire is always there, and it makes it really hard for them to find that planet. And now we'll go to Han Solo and Chewbacca. They're trying to pay off Jabba the Hutt, and they actually go to Coruscant and to do a mission for the rebellion by getting like weapons for them, and it all goes to hell. And they actually have to pay off some other person. So Han Solo and Chewbacca, they basically make a deal so they can actually go back to the Rebel Alliance, and they had to pay off some bounty hunter, and they had to pay like everything they used for the weapons. And yeah, so the plan didn't go. It didn't go as planned. And now with Darth Vader, he failed in his mission to protect the Death Star, and he's on a Star Destroyer. He had command of this Star Destroyer for a while, and all of a sudden Palpatine, or Darth Sidious, the Emperor, is telling him that, hey man, it's your fault that this Death Star was destroyed, so you're out of this Death Star, you're out of this command. And he was in Kuat, the planet Kuat. They make like the ships, Star Destroyer ships, in for the Empire. And he's like, I'm revoking your command. Palpatine's like, I'm revoking your command. Come back to the second Death Star and help create that. Help protect that. And if you can't protect that, then you're fucking useless, okay? And he goes back to the Death Star, and the artwork for Darth Vader is just freaking amazing. It's awesome. And it just really shows how menacing Darth Vader is, and it's pretty cool. It's really awesome. I want to add Darth Vader failed in his command of the Death Star, and his command of like several other Death Stars in Kuwait was revoked, and his command was taken over by someone that the Emperor highly sought over. This guy is named Colonel Bircher, and he would be the guy fighting the Rebel Squadron, and severely hurt Leia in a space battle. When he fights the Rebels again, he lost a Star Destroyer and returned to another planet, so he'll most likely be a recurring villain and threat to the Rebel Alliance. So when Bircher replaced Vader, Vader was pouting and told Bircher, if you fuck up, I'm going to be all over your ass and take you out. He didn't actually say that, but it sounded like it. And so Bircher failed, and Vader is possibly going to punish or humiliate Bircher. As for Han, he pays a debt with this female scoundrel who helps them escape from bounty hunters in Coruscant. And she said, it will cost you everything. And when she said that, I thought she meant like like credits, all of her credits. But I'm pretty sure it's now sex. And at the last issue number 6, you see the panel, two panels. Chewbacca's separate from a bar. He's in a bar, and then the next panel, underneath it, Han is with a woman, and it's the same female scoundrel he was with. And just if you look at the panel where Han is in, you could tell there's something going on, and I'm pretty sure it's sex. So Han is now a man whore. I mean, when you look at Han's face, you can see that, and you can tell he's regretting it, because he'll be in love with Leia, and I think he has an attraction to her now. So at the end, also, Luke is sitting next to a severely injured Leia, as Leia did with Luke in Empire Strikes Back. And that's all I wanted to point out. For Luke Skywalker, he isn't at odds with Leia. Luke, he finds some Indian chick, and they were making out in some like X-wing. They were in the X-wing together, and when Leia finds out about this, she's like, "You both are," basically suspended them, and they basically, and Luke's pretty furious about it, and he's just holding up emotions inside. And while Leia, Wedge, and some other person are going off on a mission to find a planet, and they hear about this good planet, and they go to this planet, and they find Imperials yet again, and I think the X-wing battles are pretty cool, but this end battle that happens is just not that good, just in my opinion. And basically Luke hears something from Ben. He's just like, Leia's in trouble or something like that. Ben Kenobi. And it's just really weird seeing that, and I don't really like that anymore. It's getting really annoying how Luke is just getting assistance from Ben Kenobi every freaking time. It's really stupid. That part is just really stupid. He hears it from Ben Kenobi. He's like, oh my gosh, she's in trouble. I gotta go save her. And so Leia, Wedge, they flee from the Imperials, but they do the they go into hyperdrive or hyperspace thing or whatever, and they go on the other side. They just do a random coordinate. They just to escape from the Imperials because there was like a Star Destroyer, TIE fighters, everything, and they were chasing them. And some of it gets really ridiculous because as soon as they get out, Leia, she gets bombarded, and she comes out at warp speed, and she's all damaged and stuff like that. Her ship is damaged, she's bleeding, and she's telling them to take out like some engine from her ship and just set it up in like a trap, so when the Star Destroyer comes, it'll destroy it. And it freaking does, and it destroys all these TIE fighters too. And I just don't get that. Why? How the heck does that happen when you have an engine with like a freaking nuclear device and it blows up Star Destroyers, and you keep it as an engine instead of like using it as weapons and just destroying Star Destroyers like crazy? It just doesn't make sense that an X-wing can destroy a Star Destroyer that freaking easily and just set up a trap. Oh, we're gonna set up this trap easily, and then when they come out and then destroy them. It doesn't make sense. It's just really, really stupid. That final battle was just, it didn't make sense to me. But it's not about the fighting in this series. It's about the interactions between the characters, and it works. It really works. And I didn't like the X-wing battles, but I like the character interactions. I love the artwork. I love the story. I just didn't like the space battles. It was a lot like X-wing space battles. I've read like 2 issues of them, so they're kind of, they're okay. They're just not, they're not as amazing as they're portrayed as. But issues 1 through 6, I have to say, is my rating has to be a 4 out of 5. It's a good series. Definitely get into it. You're gonna have a good time with it. For those who were never into expanded universe and who are always like into just the original stuff, 4, 5, and 6, I think you'll like this series. You're gonna have a good time with it. Definitely, I definitely recommend it for you guys, especially. And if you're an expanded universe guy like me, you're still gonna like it too. And you're going to have a good time with this series. You love the characters. They bring back all the old characters, which you got to like. I mean, what's not to like about the original characters? And yeah, it's a good series, and I definitely recommend you guys read it. I can't wait for issue number 7. It should be good. I wonder what the arc is going to be called. I'll let you guys know. But so far, it's been a good series. Brian Wood does a good job as writing it. And I love the character interactions between one another. And the artwork's fantastic. It fits. And the story is pretty cool. So I definitely recommend it. And yeah, that's about it. And so please subscribe to my channel, Django Fett. And I'll show a slideshow right now of the different issues, and just issues 1 through 6, just so you guys can get a better picture um, of the covers and how amazing they freaking are. I mean, you should check these out.